Hi guys, I'm here in Kensington with Mr. Devin Dawson. Devin, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you? I'm
I'm
well.
good, thanks. Welcome back to London.
Thank you. Yeah, we only spent a couple days here last time, and so I didn't really get the full thing. But it's been nice to spend a little bit more time just exploring and walking around on my own.
Yeah.
We were talking about maybe taking a tour later, being a
Yes,
tourist, and
definitely.
I don't know. I feel like that's part of it. We've
Get
got
on
to.
get on a bus tour. Kind of opens up
Yeah,
bus tour.
yeah. I mean, I know it's like the tourist thing to do, but I've never really been here, and so we'll see what happens. I'd like to.
You did the Never Fade sessions last night. We
hmm
were just talking about it off camera. It's good to see that you've got a little fan base building already in London and people know the songs.
Yeah, I mean, I think from what I've heard, I think the secret to like just building a fan base anywhere is just like come early and come often. And I'm really invested in building a fan base here, and I want to invest in the people and the kind of energy of this place that they have for the music scene. Like, it's just unlike anything else I've experienced. The fans and just the way that they listen and the way that they take in the music, and it's incredible. And so I love being here. We'll
That's
come
what we
back
want
a
to
lot.
hear. That's good. Now, for anybody who's not too familiar with your background and your story, take us right back to the beginning, Orangeville, California.
The beginning.
Yes, your influences. Because listening to your album, I feel like you've got a massive range of influences.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
tell us about it.
Yeah, so I was born in a town called Orangeville, California. It's right outside of Sacramento in Northern California. Um, and it didn't really become a thing until later, but I grew up right outside of Folsom Prison, which for me, like I always talk about when I grew up, is just that's just what I knew. It wasn't anything special. It just was like that's where I grew up. But I think moving away and like realizing the perspective and the kind of influence that had on me definitely kind of set off a light bulb for me, and how much other people thought that was like, wow, that's really special. But I started playing music when I was 12 years old. I started a garage band with my twin brother and my best friends, and we kind of did that all through middle school and high school, and ended up getting signed and touring for about 5 years after high school. And that whole time I was kind of just writing my own songs, and but just for myself, really, just in my bedroom, and trying to cope with life and just express myself in different ways. And eventually those songs kind of took over more in my heart. Like, I wanted to pursue those songs and that creative outlet more than being in a metal band and like headbanging every night. As fun as that was, I just like, as I grew older, I kind of just grew out of it. It wasn't as fulfilling. And so I moved to Nashville to go to college and start writing songs for other people. And I kind of found my way through that town, and figured out that I just wanted to be on stage and sing my own truth. And now I'm here in London with you.
Yeah.
So
And your twin brother's been quite a big part of your life, hasn't he, in terms of the writing and the filming and the sound production and things like that. So tell us about his involvement.
in my brother.
Yeah, your brother.
Yeah, he's. I mean, we've been together literally since we were born. I mean, there was a year there where I was in college and he was still touring, where we weren't living together. But other than that, today is actually my birthday.
Well,
So
well,
like,
happy birthday.
yeah, thank you, appreciate it, and his birthday, happy birthday, Jacob. And I don't know, like it's cool to have somebody else that's in this industry that you can like share this with, and also like there's no weird comparison. Like, he's got his own life and his own successes, and I've got my own life, but we also get the luxury of collaborating, which is really special. And yeah, he's a producer and a writer in Nashville. He helped on my first single, All on Me, and he's got a couple other songs on the record. And he produced a song I had in a movie called The Shack last year. And so like I said, we get to work together, and it's really special. Not only that I get to do this for a living, but I get to do it with him too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's been a crazy week or so for you, hasn't it? Dark Horse came out just over a week ago.
Yeah.
So have you found release week? Must be pretty busy.
Yeah, I mean, usually after a week and a half or 2 weeks of release week, you get to maybe like chill for a couple of days, but we hopped on a plane and came over here. So just kept it moving, which I think for me is how I like to thrive and how I like to live. Like yesterday, we had like a day off or half a day off when I came in here, and I was just going crazy, like ready to just keep playing and keep going. And so it was nice to get back on it and play the show last night, like you said, Never Fade sessions. And yeah, it's been great, and we have a couple more shows coming up. We're going to Germany and doing some other things, meeting some new friends and all that. So it's been a whirlwind, and I've definitely learned more about how far I can push myself and what my limits are, and hopefully that I don't have any. But yeah, it's been I've been looking forward to this my whole life, and so I'm really just trying to take it in and slow down and look out the window and realize how lucky I am to have a full album out now, you know?
I was watching an interview you did in the States where you were saying you are completely obsessed by songwriting.
Yeah.
And when you've got such a creative mindset, is it difficult to pin it down to kind of 12 songs on an album?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think it's about choosing the 12 that were always the 12. I think it's about choosing the 12 that work as, like, they work well together. Like, they play off of each other and they each kind of have their own moment, but none of them really step on each other's toes, but they all have a common thread. And I think it's very hard to choose like 12 of your favorite kids out of like 500, you know, but it was really just to kind of go with the gut, like see what shakes out with time. And so it was hard and easy at the same time, and just kind of let it go. And I think playing live is a big determining factor of what goes on the record and what feels good live, because we recorded my record live with my live band, and so it was really just like what translated on stage is what translated onto the album.
Yeah, and there's a real underlying theme of honesty on the album as well. Songs like Asking for a Friend and Secondhand Hurt and Dark Horse. So is it quite a scary thing to do, to kind of open up your heart and mind like that?
Yeah, I think I've learned that that's how I am satisfied as a creator, as a writer, as an artist, as a singer, is like when I am honest. And sometimes honesty can be brutal, and I think if it feels vulnerable, then it probably is right. It's probably going to touch somebody in the right way, and not every song has to be that way, but I just find that I like going there, and I personally feel like sometimes I win when I go there. Just winning meaning like it feels right when I go to that place. And so even though sometimes it's hard to sing those songs every night because they are so vulnerable and raw, but like I said, I feel like that's how you know that it's right, that hopefully that will translate through the 10 feet, 100 feet, 1,000 feet, depending on what, you know, venue you're playing, all the way to the back, and the person in the back is going to feel it just as much as the person in the front, you know. And
the title track is kind of the perfect example of that, because that's a very, very personal one to you, isn't it? So
yeah.
How special that is to you.
Yeah, I mean, that song more than any other song on the record is the most, this is my life, this is my story, like not really trying to beat around the bush. I'm just telling you what I believe in, and my vices and my, you know, kind of struggle and hopefully acceptance with love and all that stuff. And so it's kind of all encompassing into one song that really tells you who I am. And I think as a new artist, I think it's important to have those songs, and I'm lucky and glad to have wrangled it finally and found the one that means the most.
And in terms of touring and having an education on the road, you have had a better education than a lot of people, because you've been out on tour with Tim and Faith and going out on tour with Brett soon. So that must be amazing for you to go out on stage with these guys every night and kind of take things in.
Yeah, I think opening up and touring and all that is such a big part of development and learning. And I love, you know, doing headlining shows. We've done a couple of those now, and there's a different air to those. But I feel like I want to open up and support as much as I can. And learn, like you said, as much as I can, and to get an opportunity to go out with Tim and Faith this early on in my career and play those kind of arena rooms, it was like really, really special. Like learning how to speak to a room like that, and you know, how to act and how to do different things. Like you think you gotta like be louder, but you really, like, I found that you should really like kind of bring it in a little bit and make people lean into you rather than feeling like you gotta yell at them, you know. And you don't get to know that stuff until you do it, you know. And so I'm really thankful for Tim and Faith and Marin and Dan and Shay and Michael Ray and all these people that took me out last year as kind of saying like, hey, like, come hang out with us, like, you know, help us on the road. And I get to learn from them and take little bits from every single one of them and build my own live experience from that. And I will continue to learn for years and years and years.
And you're going out with Brett in a couple of months' time. Well, should I say Edgar and
yes.
Brett and his insignificant owner.
Yeah, Edgar is the star for sure, man. And I'm an animal guy. Edgar is Brett's dog, for those of you who don't know who Edgar is. Yeah. He's got a chocolate lab, and he's definitely become like social media star for sure. I think Brett brings him out on stage every night too, and gives him a cookie or something. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Like I was saying about opening up for other artists, he's been doing that for years, you know, and this is his first official full-on headlining tour, and you know, he's taking what he's learned and putting it into his own show. And I'm honored to kind of be that direct support, that I get to learn what he's learned, and it's kind of just a domino effect, I guess, really, you know. And so it's gonna be great. I'm a huge fan of his music, and so I look forward to just seeing his show every night, and it's gonna be a great time.
You've got Gillian with you as well, haven't you? Because she co-wrote I Can't Trust Myself, didn't she?
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. She sings the harmonies on it, and she's an incredible talent. I think between all three of us, I think the music is going to work really well. I think it's going to be a great package. Like, if I was a fan, if I was a listener, like, I would want to just go see that show just because of how well everything works together between Brett and I and Jillian, and it's just going to be really cool.
And just before we finish, coming back to the UK, have you been massively excited to see the way that country music's grown over here? As an artist, it must be super inspiring.
Yeah, I mean, not just country music, just all music. I feel like is a different kind of, like I said, it's a different era over here, you know. And I wanna play to anybody, not just country music fans. You know, I want to play to people that like, you know, there's traditional country fans that are like, man, I usually like traditional country, but I like love your music. And then there's also people that are like, I honestly hate country, like, which is, you know, that's fine, up to your own opinion, even though it's a way of life, like I grew up on it, you know. But they're like, hey, I don't usually like country, but I like what you do too. And so it's cool to kind of I just want to make good music, and wherever it fits, you know. And that's a blessing that I get to do that. And so it's been great to come over here and see it grow every single time. And like I said, there's just a special air over here that I love.
Well, keep coming back, dude. It's been good to have you here.
Yeah.
And we'll speak to you again soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
So thank you for your time.
Thanks for the time, dude. Appreciate
Cheers,
it.
dude.